All right. Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Thursday, November 20th. Tons of high impact news early this morning. I think the big one was the U.S. non farm payrolls. We had unemployment, earnings report, and I believe at 9 a.m. we've got existing home sales. So a lot of, well, I would say it was a decent amount of movement here. I had mapped out a short that I was looking at, just a lot of defense right here. No TP2, so I was able to take a small scalp here early this morning on the ES at that 67.49. Actually, right around here. Actually, no, I think it was right around here when I got my footprint confirmation. But let's wipe that out. Now let's see what the market's doing here. So the ES had a nice little push. This push was obviously news-based, so you got to be very careful with this guy, but also was in an area of previous high volume, and this didn't surprise me at all. There was just, I think there was volume sitting at the 655. I want to say like close to 300 contracts, so that just seemed like the easiest move for the ES right there. Morning Nordic. Morning Brian. Morning Scott. Morning Buddy. Morning MV23. Morning Show Me the Money. Steve, good morning. Michael, good morning. Joe B, good morning. Let's try to make some money here. Yeah, so unfortunately on the ES, this would be my setup right here. On any given day would be right here. But it completely originated from that news event at 7:30, so I don't put a lot of attention on that. That's very impulsive. Position sizing. Not to say that we can't get a reaction here, but lower probability for me for sure. All right, let's take a look at the NQ. So the NQ, remember, we still got the setup sitting here at the 25,290.75, targeting the 25,284, and then the 25,277 with a stop at the 25,297. Let's see. Go ahead and map that one out. Yeah, the 83 is still in play, so I'm going to map that one out. I think I had that shaded. Yes. So let's see what that one looks like. I'll put that one over here. You know what? I don't like doing my stops first. I like doing my take profits first. Superstitious, but it works. Now I can do my stop. 67, 88, 50. Load. All right. So we're looking at a short on the ES at the 67.83.50, targeting 67.80.75. TP2 at 67.78 with a stop at the 67.88.50s. And then the NQ, remember, we got a short at the 25.290.75, targeting the 25.284. And then TP2 would be at the 25.277.75 with a stop at the 25.297.50. Alright, while we're doing that, let me map this NQ out. Got an area right down here. Fits nicely on the volume profile. 25.100 is down to the 25.059. And let's see if we can find any type of... Huh. No, that one's not clean. Oh wait, let's take a look, sorry. Slutty. Huh. Yeah, that one's tough. This area is tough right down here. That's a tricky one. Not the best there, not the best. Let's go, Steve. Wishing you the best, man. I don't see much on the ES. It's looking kind of ugly. As far as setups down here, or I should go back over here on the ES. Not really finding much down here. A lot of defenses at TP2 right now. It's a lot of unbalanced volume right here. TP2, TP1 right now, both unbalanced, so those are going to have some good reaction points. I'd like to see the 80, like to see the 83 step in, though. They're not as of right now. Very curious to see right here at the 65s if they blow through this or not. Oh yeah, good sweep right there. All right, big possibility they might retrace this move here then from the morning. Big possibility. They went right back through the 65s. A lot of stops sitting right here at IB high. Initial IB high. Anybody took those setups from yesterday? I think one hit a little past overnight. There's some bangers there too. TP1 and TP2. Strong push here on the NQ and the ES. So here's one that I left with you guys with. The 67.19 short. Tapped right in, right to TP2. Down to the 67.14. That's good for 5 points. What else? Yeah, this one only got TP1. I think this was right after stream, if I'm not mistaken. 24,674. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, thought we were... Feels kind of rangy here this morning. Good job, Fluky. All right, let me know if you guys are red or green yesterday. A strong push. Good job, Nordic. Damn, 100% green. Nice. So far. Good job, peeps. I can include myself in that number. Well, strong push here. Oh, we swept there. 2 ticks. So they've left so far TP2. They might be coming after TP2 right now. That's a little unfortunate. It's a little unfortunate. I missed that one by about 3-4 ticks. So here, again, a good example of, you know, if you've got the footprint confirmation, use it. Just a resting limit order there could be a little tough. Or get conservative with TP1. There is some unbalanced volumes at the 73s, so this could be a big target for them right down here. I'll mark this off. That needs to get balanced out. That was unfortunate. We missed our entry there by about 3 ticks, and they just cleared out TP2. So they could be coming right up to 73s. For those in the signal service, I am invalidating that signal. I will be taking a look at it from a footprint stand of view. 67. Guys, I'll be right back. Gonna answer this. Sorry about that. I had to schedule a village inspection on one of my properties here today. I got kind of a cutoff time at about 9:45, 10 o'clock max this morning. So hopefully we can get something before then. This really balanced everything out here. This setup is, I would say, B- at this point. Maybe C+. And they're defending right now very strongly, obviously, the 6790s. So that could be a push that they make. And if they take this out here at the 6773s, I will completely erase all of these lines. It's so nice that the computer is working so great. I should say Ninja is working great. Who would have thunk it? Just a reinstall of the entire Ninja Trader is all it took. Let's see, the 290s. So far they're defending TP1. Careful here because they're coming at the 300s. This is a risky one here too. Let's see what kind of reaction we get right here. 290s came in a little bit. All right, we tapped into shit. Missed that one. Oh, that was a good footprint confirmation for those that was a pretty decent footprint confirmation there. Might have missed both of these. Oh, right there to the tick. To the tick. Dang it. I missed both of these. That's TP1. That's what I hate when they both come in at the same time. TP1 and TP2 on the NQ trade. Shit doggers. Missed both of them. I missed both of them. Anybody get the NQ? That was TP1 right there. Oh, dang. Dang. Look at that reaction point, people. God, I hate it when there's both of them at the exact same time. Look at that reaction point right there. That's what I'm talking about in my videos when I say I judge myself on drawdown. This one already took out TP1. Nice. And of course, today I don't do the resting limit orders. What was that good for? That was good for 40 points. That was a 40-point move right there. Right to the tick. Yeah. Shuckarunos. Morning, Key. There you go. 67.90. Knew that was going to be the target there. And they come right back down to the 73s if they wanted to. That'd be an easy auction for them to do. Well, that was a little unfortunate. Forgot who asked me. I was just trying to look for that level. Morgan. So right there you had a 5-minute level, and it was just pretty much based off of where that impulsive move happened and where the unbalanced volume was sitting at. That's where that setup came from. I had to look back because that was yesterday's price action. So as you guys can see, all of this jazz right here, actually I should say from right here upwards, this is all completely balanced out volume. Okay, so in here, very difficult to trade. Very, very difficult. This is where you get destroyed. Nothing to the top side, nothing to the bottom side right now. No, I wasn't talking. I was looking at my charts. I had to go back about a day and a half just to go see where that level came from. Forgot who had asked me that. I think it was Morgan. All right, now they had a strong move. So now we could start to kind of look up here. I want to see them break some structure down here. Maybe sweep the IB lows. And then we can start to kind of look up here. Same for the ES. I'd like to see a break structure either at the 65s or at the 62s. And then I can start looking for this unbalanced area right here. This is on the 1, so I mean, obviously start from 15 and the 5. All right, so 2 setups this morning, one on the ES. I think that only got TP1. I invalidated that signal even on my signal group after that first sweep. But that NQ trade was a beauty. That was TP1, TP2, barely any drawdown. No retracements. We don't need a retracement right now. Don't need a retracement. Keep going. Going. I'd like to see them break structure on the ES again, right at the 69s, and then again take out IB low would be a great. There's gonna be a lot of stops right here, so great place for them to do their auction business at. All right, so we had about 80% of you guys that were green yesterday. Nice. That's good. Let's hit the like on the stream, guys. 2 setups already here this morning. One for TP1, one for TP1 and 2. Not sure there's that many people out there that do what we're doing here live every morning. At least not the way that I look at it. All right, they took that out already. Get rid of that. Now we do have an area here that I've got shaded off on the ES. But again, this was the news. This is that 7:30 news, so it originated from here on this big impulsive move. This is where a lot of the unbalanced volume sits, but very unpredictable when it's high impact news moves. And I'm curious to map out this top part. Still didn't break. I'd like to see it break a little bit more. Obviously broke structure here, broke it here. These are all minis. I'd like to see it take out this IB low before taking this one here. But let's just see what they left right there. Kind of on the back side of the volume profile too. It's a good thing that we don't even have to think about it. There's nothing there. Nada. No. IB's not set till 9:30, so you've got about 19 more minutes for that. This indicator just plotting the initial IB high and low, so it goes with price action. Once this turns to 9:30, these are set into place. They're locked into place, so that is the IB high and low. Again, guys, too, there's a few membership tiers on YouTube. So the first one is the $6.99 one, which is the VIP stream. We are doing our first private live event next week, so that's already scheduled for those members. About an hour or two of just one-on-one time, or I should say how many people are on the stream. And it's a great time to ask questions, get advice on how I'm using my indicators, my footprint, my volume profile, the setups. We could just talk trading as well. There's a lot there that I can provide, and based on how many people are on and how long and how the questions go, it could be either an hour to 2 hours long. So if you want, you could join that. And then I also have the market signals for $40 a month. You can join that either on Discord or on YouTube. If you do it on YouTube, you're automatically put into that, you're already seeing that the same thing that the VIP stream members get. You're still a part of that as well. Unfortunately, people that just register on Discord, I have no way of putting you in this YouTube group. I've looked at it 100 different ways, and ChatGPT, Grok, Google all say the same thing, that it cannot be done. Or maybe I can figure out a way to do a private stream there and then also do a stream on Discord. That would be a great that'd be something for the weekend to figure out. I think that would be a cool idea. And both tiers are very inexpensive. I mean, you guys see the amount of setups that I'm providing here every day that are going for TP1 and TP2. So one trade, one setup on a few micros, and you've got that paid off for very quickly. And it's a great way to support the stream. For those that have already signed up, I really appreciate it. All right. Some movement here now. About 15 minutes for IB to be set. Ty, it's right in our, if you just look in the description of this live video, you'll see that there's a button there that says join. And when you click on join, you'll be presented with the two different membership options. The one for $40, which is the market signals. That gets you everything. All the signals with the entries, stop loss, and take profits. Most importantly, off stream too. So when setups come in off stream, those are provided there as well. And then there's also the $6.99, which is just the VIP. That's more of a support. And then obviously you get the private live stream, which is happening next week. I believe on the 27th. Let's see, and I know I did it for the evening because for me that's going to be much easier. Let's see what it is. Members only. Yeah, it's the 27th. November 27th is going to be that. See if I can figure out what time it's at. 7 p.m. Central Time. And I don't want these streams to be a commercial. I mean, you're already getting on the banner on the top side up here. You're already getting the code for the prop firms, and I don't want this channel just to be a walking commercial either. But at the same time, I gotta let people know that it's at least out there. So I promise you, I won't do it more than once a week. And then sometimes you join shit and you never even use it, or you don't see any value. I try to provide as much value as I possibly can. Just doing the live streams every morning for 2 hours, I mean, that was a huge commitment for me. And so far, it's been working out really, really nicely. And I think you guys appreciate it, so that keeps me going strong. If you haven't liked the stream, appreciate it. Anthony, no, I wouldn't do that. I don't want to see you, spend $40. You're already spending $40 on Discord. Makes no sense to spend $40 on YouTube. If you want to do the $6.99 as a support, that's great. But I will try to figure out if there's a way for me to live stream to Discord, to our private signal group, and then to YouTube. I just got to see if that's feasible, since it's a kind of a members only stream, but I think it is. So before you do that, before you spend any extra money, just let me see if I can figure that part out. It's a good weekend project. So now we did break structure here, mini structure. Okay, now to break bigger structure, we'd have to see the IB get taken out. But there's obviously unbalanced volume sitting right here, right in this. Help if it. So that right here is all unbalanced volume. Okay. Now, again, this is intermediate just because this is just smaller. These are smaller targets. We're on the 1 minute right here. So for it to really break structure, I'd have to see them take out the IB high or the IB low even. And based off of where the impulsive move happened, we're in this shaded area. This is your most concentrated unbalanced volume right here. But again, I'd like to see it break some structure up here before I take this, but you most likely will see a decent reaction once we get into this shaded box here. Anthony, I would not do that yet. Let me work on it, and then I'll figure that part out. And this shaded box here, just for those that are trying to map this stuff out, it's at the 25 193 down to the 187. So this is like the reactionary point that I see. But again, I would like it to have broken some more structure. It did break structure here. And we most likely will see some type of reaction here. One second, guys. All right, so we'll just monitor this area right here. I'll throw up the footprint just so you guys can take a look and see, you know, what happens when you get to this shaded area. All right, so we just tapped right. You see that, guys? You see how we just tapped right? I mean, it was maybe a tick off from that box, but you see that reaction that happens there? That's the setup. That's the setup in a nutshell. Every single day, 100 times, you know, it's very, very consistent, and it's constant. Once you find the unbalanced volume, the market has to do something with it, and that's where you get the reactions from. It's very simple. That would have been great for us to take a trade from there. You know, I would have liked, like I said, a few times. Let me see on the 5-minute. Yeah, so we didn't break any structure really on the 5. That's really the high B high. But that's the trade right there, guys. That's the setup. This is what I see every day. So if you look at the 15, who is it? Key 39. If you guys know how to trade my levels, how to map out the levels, you're on a 15 right here. What do we have here? This is the U-turn. Where do we have the where would your level be mapped out at? Right around the 186. You just have to adjust a little bit based on where the impulse happened and the volume profile. That's it. We see on the 5-minute. Same thing. 5-minute level, 15-minute level. You got a lot of convergence. You got to know how to map out the levels. You got to know how to do at least this. Because if you don't know how to do this part right with the levels on the 5 and the 15, to learn what I'm doing is going to be very difficult. That's the baseline. I mean, look at that. That's why majority of my trades do not have any drawdown, because of this right here. It's unbalanced. It's impulsive. This is where the orders are at. It's basic auction theory. All right, so we got about 6 minutes for IB to be set. Yeah, Morgan, the volume profile helps me define my entries and stops, and then you're also trying to get confirmation from your level 2, so kind of seeing where those are stacked up as well. So you would have seen on the volume profile the 190s, the 193, the 190s and 195s were very, very well defended at that point. So the part 2 and part 3 of volume profile and level 2, that's what helps you refine to get the least amount of drawdown. The first part is to give you the general direction or the general area. That's why you see always I'm shading these boxes. I shade the big area, the big move, and then I narrow down to like the origination of that move or the impulsive side to that new move that broke structure. As you see, all of these will break structure. You'll never see me put a shaded box where there's not areas of broken structure. Unfortunately, this was on a lower time frame structure break, so it wasn't as in my opinion. Yes, it would have worked out absolutely perfect, but in my opinion, the better breaks are in the 5 and the 15. But sometimes on slow days, you have to go down to the 1. Rangy days, you have to go down to the 1. But the edge also diminishes by several percentage points. I don't know how to answer that. How many unbalanced areas? So we're going into one right now, right up here. Okay, so this would be an unbalanced area, which is just now starting to get balanced out. That's why you have the reaction here. Simple as day. This is the bigger area. This is not my smaller area. This is unbalanced right now. Down here. Don't forget about this little area right here. This is unbalanced. This is unbalanced. Pretty much where I have my shaded area. This is the smaller one, but the bigger unbalanced area is right here. That's unbalanced. Those are all reactionary points. All reactionary points. And we're on the 1 minute, but you go to the higher time frame on your volume profile, and you're going to see that that matches up beautifully. And then I'll give you another example here. So this shaded area here, it's got unbalanced volume. You will most likely see a reaction to this shaded area, but, excuse me, but you are in an area that is very sweepy right here. I was going to say it's very sweepy because you've got a lot of stops sitting right here. You also have IB high, so you've got confluences on why the sweep. You can get a very impulsive move up here, and unfortunately on an impulsive move, what's in between the impulsive move and the target is your stop loss. So for me, it doesn't make sense for me to try to squeeze in a setup out of this when I also feel that there's a very high chance of getting that sweep to take out all of this unbalanced volume sitting right here. And that again is that comes with experience, and it comes with, you know, just seeing this stuff play out constantly. But again, most likely we'll get a reaction here. You know, if I had to map out where a TP would be on that, it would be right there. So if we tap into this shaded area and we come right back down to this to this line, that's where I would have my TP1 set. But again, I'm not very comfortable with this setup because of this sweepy area right up here. A lot of stops sitting right there. I'd be more interested in playing the IB, the fade on the IB high with a footprint confirmation than taking this setup right now. Will it work? It's got a very high chance of working, yes. So John, no. The answer, so the question that John asked was, are the shaded areas part of the weekly levels you send out? Those are even higher time frames. So you remember that the shaded areas that I give, those are on the 1 hour time frame. So those are you're going to see much less shaded areas, much less weekly bands, which is what I call them. And those are major areas that it's going to take high impact. Okay, so right there, you see that, guys? Do you see that? Do you see how it tapped right into the shaded box, went right to TP? You can find these all day long as you know where you're looking at. It's not a secret. I mean, it takes some experience to figure this shit out, but do you see how that box, how it reacted? And it's constant. So John, hopefully that answered your question. Those are bigger time frame, very difficult areas for price action to finally get through. It takes high impact news, like obviously like this morning was a good example of that. Some kind of headline, a tweet comes out, or something comes out unexpectedly, or multiple retaps of that shaded box on the weekly bands. I mean, I could do this all day long, but I have some rules that I kind of put into place that, I try to get the best edge that I possibly can. And I've already explained what my theory was here. On Nordic, all of them. It's the levels, the volume profile, and the level 2. It's a combination of all of them. But it starts with the level. All right, so we do have IB set now at the 25,299.75. On the ES, the IB is set at the 67.90. Did you see this reaction here? This reaction was good for 25 points, 20 points-ish, somewhere around there. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of that guy. And that would have been my TP1. Obviously, TP2 would have been smashed as well on that one. And again, that's the reason why my wife actually is the one that came up with the idea of the live stream for members, is to go over all this shit, just to see what it is that I see. I mean, people wait years to have a breakthrough. If you can try to limit the hurt in the beginning, I think it'll help you out tremendously in your trading. And this is the same thing on the ES, the NQ, the gold, the RTY, the YM, treasures. I mean, it's the same concept in every single market, because it's all that the market is. It's just an auction. I kept hearing that term being used by good traders, ones that now I understand why they have the tools and why they keep talking about volume. There's a reason why you keep seeing on their screen, they will either talk about volume profile, footprint confirmation, footprints, level 2 data, book map. Without it, I mean, you could still make money. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat in this game, but this will show you the true picture of what the market wants to do. And I'm not perfect at it by no means. Do I want to come off sounding like I'm some kind of like, I don't know. My biggest issue right now is I have a decent filter for finding my TPs. Okay. And then when we finally cross into our entries, I can see some unbalanced areas on the lower time frame that I feel like the market wants to rebalance. That's how I come up with my TP 1s and 2s. And again, that's why we typically see reaction points at those TP 1s and TP 2s. But I would say my biggest struggle that I have right now that I have not figured out, and I'm doing as much as I possibly can trying to figure this out, is holding trades longer with the footprint. Like, that's my next step in my evolution personally as a trader. Is I would like to find a way that seems consistent, because the footprint, the nice thing about the footprint, level 2, is shit just repeats every day. So that's the main reason why I like to journal my footprint charts and my charts as far as like what happens at them. The ones that don't have drawdown, the ones that do have some drawdown, is staying in those trades a little longer with the help of footprint. And I have general ideas, that, if you would like to see the volume profile, if we're on a short, you'd like to see the volume profile sitting at the top with strong imbalance to the downside. Like, I get the general concepts, but I still haven't seen anything that's like visually to my eye that would make me, let's see here. All right, so that was not very eventful. Let's see. I haven't seen many clean IBs lately. I'm not. You could want to tap into the 10s, which they did. There's a decent footprint confirmation. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see what happens right here. Might have missed my opportunity there. Shoot. Let's see the ES. What did the ES do here? So bad. So the ES did not give a good footprint there. No. This is where it was at. This is where it was sitting at. 341. So right off of a resting limit order, you would have done pretty well there on that IB trade. And you guys, if you guys can see this on the ES, You guys see, I forgot who asked me this a couple days ago. Someone asked me, like, what's the minimum delta that you like to see for a confirmation? And I said that it's tricky because it's based on the previous candles and what type of zone you're entering into. But you guys can see here where you had 100 contracts, 200 contracts, 40 contracts. And then you see here how it goes to 3. And then it goes to negative 66. If you could combine these two footprints, you would have gotten a fantastic footprint confirmation, or I should say a combination of these. So that's the hard part of getting the footprint confirmation when you have such a strong high delta right before it, right down here. Key, check out Cami Capital. I've never heard of that guy. But if he's trading strictly off the volume profile, I could tell you that he's got my vote. Dang, man. Well, that was a nice... I just didn't get anything there. I didn't get any... Just seems like it's going to be one of those kind of days for me personally. Which is okay. Nothing on the Q, nothing on the S. All right, guys, I'll be right back. No, NV23. They're not. If you're already in the Signal group from YouTube, the $40, you're already included in that VIP stream. So if you look at my upcoming live events, you should see on the 27th, it should show up on your YouTube dashboard somewhere. And if you haven't, just click on the notify me when I go live and you'll see the scheduled streams. Kamish, I'm using on the ES a 4 range, and on the NQ I'm using a 20 range footprint chart. Live stream is scheduled for the 27th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Super sloppy on the NQ right now. That was a good footprint confirmation on the retest there, though. That could have been a good entry. Just don't see anything. I guess they could have taken the 82s. See, this is exactly what I'm looking for right here on the NQ. Let's see if I don't know why it does that. Where did she go? Where did she go? Where did it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Right here. This would have been a nice footprint confirmation. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I can find this stupid arrow. There we go. Red footprint confirmation, green positive delta, strong delta too. 74 on the NQ is really good. And that's where you get your move to the downside from. Oh, that would have paid me as well. Yeah, Joe, it should be. I started recording yesterday for the first time on my streams. That's why I was able to record those trades from yesterday. I put out that video. So yeah. Well, it looks ugly on the NQ and on the ES. And when I say ugly, let's see if I can just do a regular line. This, all of this, well, besides here, let's say from right here to there. What do you guys see there? Do you guys see any impulsive moves? Okay, well, let me show you this. You can consider this here to be an impulsive move, right? What happens directly after that? What do? They balanced out the volume. There was unbalanced volume from the move. They balanced it out. Here's another example of, you could say that this was impulsive. Okay. Oh, not that big. Right here. They tap right back into it before that. Okay, and that's where they balance out the volume. So the setup I would look for here. So that's when I say that this is all dirty price action. That's what I mean. There's no clear movement there. There's no clear unbalanced volume. How I'm looking for it. Now you could say, Rob, was this an unbalanced area? Yes, for sure. What does it need to do for me to look for a setup? I want to see break of structure, a big break of structure, not this mini shit right here. I'd like to see some bigger structure being broken. At this point, I'd like to see this get taken out. Right here. I'd like this to get taken out. They could take out this shaded area, and then I would start looking for this area for a setup. Oh, 67. I could tell you, I don't even have to look at it. I could tell you that's an ugly area right now. There's nothing there that's of interest to me. At the 67s, to the 70s, to the 90s. The only area I'm interested, or I would have been interested, was down here on the ES at the 6748. That's major structure broken. But what did that originate from? High impact news, 7:30 a.m. That is, to me, very unpredictable volume. Because you're looking at 67 right here. You're looking at right here. So you're saying, Rob, there's unbalance, there's an impulsive move. Well, what structure did we break up? Did this move break structure? You maybe a little bit on the mini surface here. On the 1 minute, yeah, it did. But take a look on the 5 minute. On the 5 minute, this is kind of unbalanced. This is kind of the news cycle here, so that's a little tough to say. What I'm looking for would be for this movement. Okay, I'll retract. It's not terrible. The 67s is not absolutely terrible. I just don't like it because it broke just very mini structure here. Very, very mini structure. This move didn't break any structure. This move finally did break structure, but this has all been already balanced out. And we had this, what happened on this wick right down here? They balanced out this move right here. So yes, could you get maybe a few points out of that trade? A point and a half, yes, but I guarantee you that you're going to be sweating that one out. Yeah, Morgan, but on the bigger time frame. Sometimes you don't get it. On days, there's some days that you got to be on the 1 or 5 and hope for the best. Good job, Michael. Right back. Good job, Randy. 1K profit. It's awesome, man. Shit, is it really Thanksgiving night? Oh, damn. That's not right. All right, I'll change it for the 26th. That ain't right. I love you guys, but not enough to be on Thanksgiving night with you guys. That wouldn't go down too well. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to have to call it. I got to get out pretty far by 11:30. So hit the like if you haven't. Some really nice setups here already this morning. For those in the signal service group, I'm going to take a look at this shaded area, and I'll let you guys know once we break some structure here. Looks like there could be a decent setup there on the NQ. With that being said, I hope you guys had a great day of trading. Be patient out there. If you're in the green, stay in the green. If you're in the red, well, take some high quality A+ setups or call it a day for until tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like on the stream. If you're looking for any evals, funded accounts, use code TraderRob. See you guys tomorrow.